The Mills Bomb. This was the grenade that standardized features found in many modern hand grenades today. The British used the Mills Bomb from 1915, manufacturing them until 1972, and they still show up around the world in modern conflicts. On film, the Mills Bomb is often overshadowed by the American Mark II, often called the pineapple grenade. But the Mills Bomb is where modern grenades all started. So let's take a look at some of the British films it's featured in, and the history of this revolutionary design. The Mills Bomb was truly a game changer for the British and Allied armies. Before the Mills Bomb, many World War I grenades looked not unlike the iron ball grenades used during the 17th and 18th centuries. At the start of World War I, you could easily find British as well as opposing armies using ball grenades such as the No. 15 hand grenade, being used here by Anzac soldiers. These grenades were made of cast iron and had a fuse that needed to be externally lit, not ideal in the often wet conditions of trench warfare.
Keep it going, Marty!
Grenades have a lengthy history in warfare, used in places like the Middle East and China, but were almost always a novelty weapon and often dangerous to those who used them. Cast iron grenades first started appearing in the mid-15th century in Europe and worked their way into numerous armies in various forms, with the slow-burning, unreliable fuses consistently being a weakness of the device. Grenades were rarely standardized or part of training for most soldiers, besides specialized grenadiers or naval boarding parties, where they were popular during the golden age of piracy for boarding actions. Interestingly, in 1902, the British War Office declared hand grenades a relic of the past, having no place in modern warfare due to vast improvements in firearms. Only 2 years later, British observations of the Russo-Japanese War concluded grenades are actually going to play a larger role in modern warfare. The British Army went through a series of interesting grenade designs and delivery systems right up to the start of World War I, some of which were fairly dangerous, including those with impact fuses that were armed before throwing, meaning if you threw from a trench and bumped or dropped the grenade end, you'd likely kill everyone around you.
How does it work?
I know not, my liege.
Consult the Book of Armaments!
Black powder, bit of old shrapnel.
At the start of World War I, many British troops improvised their own explosives. There is no miniseries or movie that highlights the importance and evolution of World War I grenades better than the Australian Anzac miniseries from 1985, showcasing the use of No. 15 ball grenades, tin grenades, and Mills bombs extensively.
They're good.
Bit early in the day for getting stuck into the slops, isn't it, boys?
In 1915, the first modern mass-produced fragmentation grenade, the Mills bomb, became available to British troops. It's immediately recognizable, sharing many features of the American Mark II pineapple grenade. Though this is a fragmentation grenade, the grooves are actually placed to aid in the grip of the device. The grenade has a pin and spoon, which most people will immediately recognize. The grenade arms once the pin is pulled, and the spoon flies from the grenade. These grenades were significantly safer, more reliable, and more predictable than the grenades before them. They use a percussion cap and time delay fuse. The Mills bomb was considered a remarkable success during World War I. An almost hard to believe 75 million would be made during the First World War alone. The grenade went through several quick evolutions during the war. The biggest was getting rid of its 7-second fuse, which gave defenders either time to escape or possibly even throw the grenade back. There are several obvious comedic examples of the length of such fuses shown on film, but ultimately the Mills bomb fuse was reduced to 4 seconds. Throwing a modern grenade back makes for a great scene, and there are some real examples of this, but it's truly a rare occurrence. The Mills bomb is considered a defensive grenade. A soldier could be expected to throw the grenade about 30 meters. However, lethal fragments from the grenade could travel over 90 meters or 100 yards. This meant when throwing the grenade, a soldier would need to be able to throw from cover or immediately take cover. This was, however, ideal defensively. perfect for throwing at an advancing enemy, while safe from within a trench, as shown here used by German soldiers who have perhaps captured the grenade from a British trench. They were of course still used offensively, if being thrown into a confined space like a dugout or trench. They were well suited to trench warfare.
Are these better than ours?
The German army went a different direction with World War I grenade design, and in 1915 introduced the stick grenade, known as the Stielhandgranate. This grenade was different in many ways to the Mills bomb. The grenade used a friction igniter, which meant to arm the grenade, the user had to unscrew a cap at the base, and then pull a cord which dragged a steel rod through the igniter, causing a spark to ignite the 5-second fuse. Arming these stick grenades required more movement than arming a Mills bomb, but stick grenades were better offensively because they gave off very minimal fragmentation, making them deadly in only a small blast radius, from which the thrower could easily throw beyond, aided by the stick, which increased throwing distance. The British Army did solve the issue of limited throwing range of the Mills bomb in the development of the rifle grenade. You can see a rod-type launcher in Hearts of the World, made in 1918, the last year of the war. Fired from a rifle, the Mills bomb had a range up to 150 meters. Grenades launched from rifles kept their 7-second fuses, so they would make it to their target before exploding. The Mills bomb with its pin and spoon design further lent itself to many different traps. The pin could be rigged to a tripwire, for example. One of the more interesting traps associated with the Mills, and particularly the Mark II grenades, were pulling the pins, but then dropping them into a jar or glass to keep the spoon from disconnecting and arming the grenade. The glass can be positioned easily to break and then set off the grenade. By the way, the gentleman who pulled the grenade pin in this movie, Shock Troops from 1967, is perpetuating a common myth, pulling a pin with your teeth. Pins are meant to be strongly secure, as not to be pulled out simply by snagging a tree branch or while crawling. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger would likely struggle to do this.
I ate green berets for breakfast, and right now I'm very hungry.
I can't believe this macho.
As the Mills bomb had a large blast radius, they were also very popular with pilots, some of whom dropped them from their airplanes. You can see one such pilot demonstrating a homemade device just for this purpose in Aces High from 1976.
Oh, very good. Very good. Hey! Gresham, have you seen this?
Oh, very good, Tommy.
After being used in the millions in both world wars and countless conflicts, the Mills bomb remains not that different from many modern hand grenades. The simple Mills bomb will likely be a grenade that could fit in with modern weaponry easily for another 100 years. Alright, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching this brief on the revolutionary Mills bomb. Feel free to add any info you might have on the subject in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next video.